Thanks, Alan. Well, we're going to launch into the schedule today. We're going to move over on the other side of the big round white.
It's interesting. There's so many different tractors from all over the place.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah, it is.
Good morning. We're just 30 minutes away from the opening.
The question is...
You don't have to pose.
Good morning, and can you hear me okay on this speaker system? Testing 1, 2, 3.
Number?
That's what they are.
Yeah.
How big are their eggs? Probably just like little quail eggs.
Yeah.
All right, everyone can come on in, gather around.
Brought a full size.
Help Jeff start this little red Super H over here. Just mosey over and we'll get the people moving. And
That's unusual.
Yeah. See that over there.
Well, he's kind of, I don't know, he does weird stuff. Yeah, I grew up with.
right before weather.
The customer. Then after this, you can take this carded wool, and I'm going to turn it over to Karen. Karen has learned how to spin. She's learning how.
Common customer is 30, 40-year-old mom.
Yep.
Raising her kids, wants to feed them healthy.
Yep.
And things like that.
Okay. You don't have this freezer full of gallon plastic jugs,
Actually,
right?
so I was intending to bring a bottle. We actually are bottling now. So we bottle in half-gallon plastic. It's kind of old-fashioned style.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Great question. Yeah. I'm looking for the Haas family. 5 minutes or so.
I'm assuming maybe she had a bucket of water or something in the trailer. Got it. Okay. So this one does have belly wool? Yes, it does. So here I'm saying, can you help it?
I don't.
Once I clear the belly, I want the belly away.
You couldn't produce food fast enough to feed the world. So the steam engine was another huge improvement there because it allowed power, something other than animal power or human power, to produce a crop and separate grain for food. So early in the 1860s, they came out with what they called a portable steam engine, which looked a lot. They didn't have the metallurgy correct. They just hadn't been invented yet to where the machine couldn't be strong enough. The steam itself had a lot of power, but they couldn't make the gears last, and they would break. So they just weren't strong enough to do very much. The steam engines, though, were in their own right.
If you want to run this thing in reverse, I'll just reverse it. And I'm going to slow it down here a little bit. Okay, and when you reverse it, really all you're doing is reversing the valve timing, and so it'll run in reverse. So I'll put it in reverse, and now it's going to run in reverse.
As you drive to the field, the sickle cutter right here, just like the sickle cutter on today's wheat head, it'll cut the plant will lay the wheat, whatever crop you're harvesting or bundling, will be cut and lay down on the grape area. It goes up into the nodder, and there's an arm there that catches all the wheat, and as that arm gets pushed down, it eventually trips, and it runs a piece of twine around it, and then kicks it drop the corn. Okay, here we go, Kyle. Hey, Mark, Blue, do you still have that microphone? Okay, so Kyle is stretching out the wire. What we're going to do is get up to the other end, then we'll put our other stake in. So you're just stretching out the wire now. Yeah. So if this is a quarter mile, you can stretch out a quarter mile wire first thing when you got to the field. Correct.
5 years old.
So I didn't remember when Dad planted with a wire, with corn. But I do remember when he used check wire across the field for pumpkins. Because in the 50s there wasn't any herbicides for pumpkins, so we used the check wire to plant them, and then we cultivate long ways, then we cross them, and then we lay, they call it laying by when you go back the third time and go long ways. Okay. So those old boys are doing a lot of cultivating. My goal will happen down here when we get to the end now. We got the planter down. Oh yeah. We're going to take about another round, and then I'm going to need some little guys to come out and dig to see if we're getting the corn in the ground. Okay. Mike, tell us a little bit about your piece of equipment, how you came to it. Hold it back up. Tell us a little bit about your tractor and planter, the history of it, and how you got it. Okay, this tractor was sitting down alongside the road down in Missouri about 25 years ago. We were on. Anybody else find some? Okay, right here is what's your name? Okay, Joel. Here's what you.
Breaks the heads off all those stems, and now you've got a mess of stems and grain in there. Now you got to get that separated. So it's going to go through a series of shakers, which we're going to see these arms moving. And the other thing is you got the same thing with a fan down below here that keeps that stuff elevated so it can walk back through those shakers. And that actually was very, very important that they do that in unison so that it sits there and beats that the seeds of grain then fall down to the bottom. So this was their year's wages, a lot of it, a big part of their year's wages right here. And so it was a huge day. And it took a lot of people to do this because you generally, now with a tractor you only had one operator, but with a steam engine you generally had 4 people that just took care of the steam engine. And you had generally, like Ben that's up on top, you had a kind of a crew boss that was over the thresher that was doing just what he's doing, where you just kept an eye on everything. And you generally had 4 to 5 people probably offloading onto the thresher, and you had generally probably a
Gotta get my first family picture here.
Yeah.
Finished taking himself. The furthest tan's been away from home is Canada. Thank you. Audio. Owned by Maury Schaefer from Fremont. What's my grandson? Thomas has recorded. When he's been away, he said St. Louis, Missouri, where he had a big play buddy like that.
right, Jesse's from Dillon. This is a 1948 Farmall MD. And Jesse has been to Mexico. Maybe more than once, huh, Jesse? Here's a 1957 Farmall 450 driven by Terry Markin. Thank you. This is a 1950 Farmall M owned by Russ Miller, Fremont, Illinois. It's had many more power, more transmission speed. And Russ has been to Germany, and I'm guessing that was probably courtesy of Uncle Sam. Was it, Russ? No vacation. Okay. Thank you, Russ. 1967, here we come, parking lot. 1206, nicknamed Fancy. Queen of the farm, she says. It's a quick attach, carry-all mini 1206 pedal tractor in the back. Have a look at that. That's a beauty. Driven by Ryan Kozak, Vernon, Connecticut. Here's a 1954 Farmall Super M. Driven by the matriarch. It's called Picker Gordy. It's a 1964 mounted McCormick two-wheel picker, and she uses it too. She picks corn with this thing. Thank you, Laura. Here comes Bill Baker. Bill actually uses this tractor to plow that little ground. If you watch the corn planting, they were my corn master. Comes out here and discs it. Makes it. It's a 1935 John Deere B. This is the first year they made the John Deere B. Goes on it for 4 years. And here comes a late edition. Look at this. This is Bill Perkins from Bellevue. Brought in a 1941 Caterpillar D2. He's had this for 2 months. Thanks for bringing that, Bill. Appreciate it very much. 1941 Caterpillar D2. Alright, here comes Kyle Wormnest from Deer Creek, Illinois. If you watched the corn planting, you saw this in action. This is a 1955 Alice Chalmers G. Note that the engine is in the back. The implements are in the middle. Moved by it's got the standard that we saw playing with, two-wheel standard, is there for 25 years. We started as a 4-H project. Kyle's never worked in Germany. Thank you, Kyle. Okay, here comes a little tractor driven by Carlos Shaw. This is owned by Chad and Carlos Shaw, Canton, Illinois. 2022. Avery handmade tractor. Let's have a little rock of applause. Thank you so much, Chad. This is handmade because of the belt with a grinder. Thank you so much. Alright, here comes a lovely oil pull. I'm not sure if we know the EMD. And it's put a lot of hours of work into this thing to get it going. So I appreciate all your efforts, Wayne. Thanks for bringing this thing over to run the wrecking machine with you. Josh, thanks for your help too. There's some unique tractors over here. This is owned by Chase Turner, driven by Mike Turner, Lincoln, Illinois. This is a 1950 Farmall Super A demonstrator. They've owned this for 6 months. It came right from the factory. And they've got up to Alaska. Cousin Steve Bluniers, Steve Bluniers from Metamora, 1987 CC 782D turbo. Straight out of Mexico. Here comes some interesting topic here. This is driven by my cousin Susan Haas from Roanoke. This is a horizontal sort Elmer Blunier. It was built in the early 1900s. Built in the early 1900s, if I'm not mistaken. Driving out of Westford, Illinois. who come here who have tractors named after them. But the Haas family has that distinction. Matter of fact, here comes another one after that. Alan's been up to Alaska, and Alan, thanks for all you've done with the show over the years. We really appreciate it. Thank you. This is Alan's son, Jason, from Roanoke, also driving a 1949 Haas B. Jason, I believe these were made in Wisconsin, weren't they? Yeah. So the Haas tractors were made in Wisconsin, and I can tell you there aren't very many of them around. Okay. And the last tractor is a Parkin Farms tractor. This is a 1957 Farmall Super C named Cutie. This is Terry and Lori Parkin, who have been big supporters the last few years. Thank you so much. They're pulling a 30 McCormick poo spreader, nicknamed Winnie. And they've been to St. Martin. Ah, Winnie the Pooh, I get it. Well, everybody, that brings us to the end of the 2024 Great Tractor Parade. Thank you all so much for your support over the years. And Lord willing, somebody else will pick this up, but we've had the pleasure of hosting it for 35 or so years, and we just appreciate everybody's support. So thank you for coming, and God bless you all. Bye.